Mini interior detail versus a deep interior detail, what's the difference? And if you're a customer, which one's right for you? And if you're a detailer, which one's right for your customers? And guide them based on what you have. In my business, I only have two interior detailing packages, so that way it doesn't confuse my customer on which one is right for them. The only difference is based on the severity, if it's mild, moderate, or severe. As you guys seen in my previous videos, we have a bunch of them with cleaning rat poo, roaches, vomit, just a bunch of things that play a difference on the price range. But all in all, here are the two things, and I'm going to talk about the differences between a mini interior detail and a deep interior detail and what goes into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so pretty much what is the difference between a mini interior detail and a deep interior detail? Well, these are just the differences, and here it is. Pretty much a mini interior detail is just a maintenance and upkeep of the interior. And is it right for you, right? Certain people just want a maintenance interior detail, which is just fine, which just consists of a general vacuum of the seats, carpets, just a general vacuum of the interior, a wipe down of the door panels, and then we lightly dress the door panels, and also obviously clean the mirrors. But there's a big significant difference between that one and of course the deep interior detail, which includes a vacuum, steam cleaning, extracting, pretty much trying to make the vehicle gunk and grime free completely, pretty much a complete reset of the interior, making sure that your interior looks its best. And typically for that type of service, me as a business, I like to offer that to my customers at least once a year. It really keeps and makes sure that your car looks completely brand new year round, because we're removing that gunk and grime that eventually gets embedded inside your carpets and upholstery. So typically, I like to remove the floor mats. He does have these WeatherTech type of mats, as you can see. Collects most of the dirt and gunk and grime and stuff, and it just makes detailing much easier. And yep, so once I remove that, I go ahead and start cleaning the floor mats. Before I go ahead and clean the mats, I do want to talk about APCs and which ones I like to use to go ahead and clean them. I love to use the Owner's Pride and DIY Detail All Clean APC, as they're both dilutable 15:1, to go ahead and clean the rubber mats on the floor mats. And that's a great dilution ratio. If you're going to clean the interior, then go ahead, and I prefer a 40:1 dilution ratio, not necessarily a 30:1, because it's a very powerful cleaner. Or I also have this other one, which is Extra Tough all-purpose cleaner. It's also a great one, and it's dilutable 15:1 as well, to go ahead and clean your interior and even floor mats. Another question is, how many chemicals do you really need to go ahead and do an maintenance interior detail or mini interior detail? You don't need much. All you literally need is a rinse wash, which is perfectly diluted. I'm using DIY Detail rinseless, and I put it in a 16-ounce bottle. And for a rinse wash, it's a 256:1 dilution ratio, meaning 1 ounce to 1 gallon, or 2 gallons, I'm sorry. And then pretty much what I did is I went to the grocery store, bought a distilled gallon of distilled water, and I put half an ounce into that gallon, and that was it. Now I have a gallon, and I could just go ahead and spray it as such. And for most of the areas that is technically untouched, I'll use Interior Clean and Protect to go ahead and clean and protect the surface in one shot. So that's pretty much it. And for those heavy or certain areas that are really dirty, so like say the door, the step panels and stuff like that, you go ahead and use an APC. So for the driver's side that's really dirty, I like to go ahead and grab this boar's hair type of brush. And also I have a synthetic one for those delicate areas. But pretty much I'm going to be using the rinseless wash. And I'll show you how easily it applies. So I like to spray as such a little bit on the bristle. And also I have a damp one here on the side, so when I do my general wipe down on like the dashboard, and the center console that's not as dirty. And if you need to, you could go ahead and brush like this in just the certain areas where there's cracks, crevices on the buttons, stuff like that, right? That's where you'll typically use it. And then for the rest, once you get those areas, you just go ahead and just wipe off the rest with your damp rinseless towel. And that's it. Simple as that. There's really no need to do anything else. You've already reached the deep areas, the corners. You already passed it on the brush, on the buttons. And it's perfectly clean. Simple as that. This is just residual. And that's it. You've cleaned the interior easy. As for the dashboard, I go ahead and it's just the dust. You got a light layer of dust. You just grab your rinseless wash and just wipe through. If you can clean the outside of your vehicle, dirt, oil, grime, brake dust, all this other stuff, you can easily clean your interior with a rinseless wash. Even the infotainment screen, it still has a plastic on it. I apologize if I kicked the camera. And it cleans off just as easy. You don't need a glass cleaner. You don't need anything fancy. A rinseless wash. Go ahead, speed up the process and do an amazing job. Now for the interior clean and protect, you could go ahead and follow it up if you want to go ahead and give it that extra UV protection, which I will be doing. And that's it. And also, here's a quick tip. Rinseless wash, like I said, if you could clean the dirt, oil, grime, and stuff from your actual car's paint and debris and road grime, this is the steering wheel. So it just goes to show that this is just such a versatile chemical, and that's all really that you need. If your seats aren't as dirty as this passenger side seat, as you can see, is just really filled with just dust, nothing much really, I'll go ahead and spray some interior clean and protect. Put this right here. I like to have 2 towels. And don't underestimate the cleaning power of the DIY Detail Interior Clean and Protect. And it leaves a nice satin type of sheen. Go ahead. This is everything that came out. As you can see, there's some dirt and grime in there. Go ahead, wipe off the residual. And that's it. Your seat is perfectly clean. Now for the extra stuff in the seams that are out, I'll go ahead and use my vacuum at the end of the detail, because I am stepping in and out of the vehicle as I'm doing this interior detail. And yeah, so that's about it. It's clean and it's protected in one step, and this is how you maintain your vehicle looking new and fresh for years to come. Another thing, if you're doing an interior detail before I do my final vacuum, I already wiped down everything, the whole interior. Don't forget the door jambs. I like to spray a bit of rinseless wash. Let that marinate. I have a second towel right here. Go ahead, spray the towel. And as you can see, it's lifting off all that dirt and grime off the surface. And with no pressure, I'm rolling my towel over. Roll the towel again, as such. And start cleaning that dirt and grime inside your door jambs to give the interior a complete look. And easy as that with the rinseless wash. It is easily achieved. And for the final send off, before you're done with everything, I do a final vacuum to go ahead and get the cracks and crevices. And that's about it. Interior detail is done. I will show you guys the results. Alright everyone, so hopefully this sums up what's the difference between a mini interior detail and a deep interior detail, and pretty much the results speaks for themselves. This vehicle is maintained averagely, and then on top of that, it wasn't crazy and it helped out a lot. And typically a mini interior detail really takes about 20 to 30 minutes to go ahead and do, as in turn for a deep interior detail it may take 1, 2, maybe 3 hours. And the purpose of a deep interior detail is practically making the vehicle as clean as possible based on the condition it's in. Pretty much a complete reset of your interior. Now, I do highly recommend it if you are purchasing a used vehicle from a dealership to go ahead and get a deep interior detail done by your detailer that you trust, and that way you can ensure that everything is gunk and grime free. You have no idea how many customers come to me with used vehicles that they just purchased from a dealership, and the gunk and grime and debris and stuff that I just remove from the carpets and the extractor. So that's something that, you know, if you're a customer shopping for a detailer and want to know the difference between a mini interior detail and a deep interior detail, pretty much this is it. And also, if you are doing this as a business, and I'm just going to go ahead and give an example pretty much on what I do in my business, is a mini interior detail has to come with our most basic package, which is pretty much our intro package, which is a wash, clean, and seal on the exterior. And for the interior, it is, as you just saw, what it includes. And that's pretty much just because I like to provide value to the customer, as opposed to if the customer is just saying, hey, I just need a quick wipe down. I get a bunch of those phone calls. Just a quick wipe down, super basic. I just want the interior done only. Unfortunately, if they don't purchase with the package, then I just go ahead and send them to the car wash, because if this isn't valued for them, then this is something that, you know, they could go ahead to the car wash instead to go ahead and take care of. And that's it, right? There's certain people that just want certain types of details, and as a detailing business, sometimes you're categorized as a car wash. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's about it. So hopefully you guys find value into this, and obviously the range from a mini interior detail, I'm just giving an example, from maybe from your area, maybe $60 just to do a basic interior detail like this, all the way up to $100 depending on the size of the vehicle. And of course, based on the condition, the price may vary, as opposed to a deep interior detail may cost you anywhere from $300 and above if you're finding a reputable detailer that knows what they're doing. $300 and above. And obviously depends on the severity, if it's smoke odor removal, cleaning rat poop, all this other stuff. So hopefully you guys found this informative. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the process. And yeah, so that's about it. So hopefully this sums up everything. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as you saw, all the products that was needed was just literally 2 things that I've used to go ahead and keep this vehicle fresh and clean. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.